Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Friday mornings, messages of love from above. Hope you like the new visuals here, but we will jump in here in just a quick moment. Let me just get my desktop all set up. Hope everyone had a great week. Hey, Angelique. All right, so let me just get some stuff copied here, and just in case. All right. Let me just get this pop out chat. All right. Mercury is going direct today. So happy, what is today? We got the Libra moon happening later today and Mercury going direct. Woohoo! We'll still be in its shadow a little bit. So, of course, it's going to impact us a little, but it's still good news. So I like it. I like it. I like it. And let me just move this up. There we go. Can see it a little better. All right. Doing two things at the same time. Not as good as I used to be at it. So thanks for hanging in there with me there. So, as I mentioned, Libra moon starts today and Mercury goes direct. If you are interested in knowing more about like what is happening with the moon energy throughout the week and any kind of planetary things, I started a new Moon Day Monday. Here's a link to that. So every Monday I'll be putting that out. That'll give us some good awareness of the energy. Every moment is of the lower vibrational or higher vibrational, whatever energies are coming in, make it easier or harder for us to choose one or the other. But at least we know the forecast, right, of what the weather is coming in, and then we deal with it, right? And then, so that's Moon Day Mondays. And also, I moved my Take 10 with Zen to Tuesday. So it's Take 10 with Zen Tuesdays. So every week I put out a video. Whoops, that is it's too long here. Let me see here. Let me just whittle this down a little bit so it'll fit in there. But it is a video of 10 minutes or less, where usually 10 minutes or less. Sometimes I go a little longer. You know how it is. But it talks about how to connect with spirit, how to connect with our higher self, and answer questions from my subscribers too. So be sure to check that out. And then I'm going to start calling it What's Up Wednesdays, because I put out a pick a card and we find out what's going on. What does Spirit wants us to know? This week's was the Virgo new moon. Pick a card. What can we change or transform about our routine? So if you take a look at, each week, it gives you more insight. I'm going to kind of spice them up. So when there's a new moon or a full moon, I'll talk about those in the pick a card, and there'll be a pick a card around that subject. And then like when we change the sign of, like, we're going to be going into Libra, there'll be a special birthday reading for Libra. So really, to keep a lookout, I guess, for the pick a cards, because I'm going to spice card available in my main page too, if you ever want to hear more from Spirit, of course. And then I have giveaways. So I always like to make sure everyone knows that before we get started into here. That's why I start a little early, just to tell everyone all this stuff. But here's my giveaway playlist, so you can take a look at the most recent giveaway, and that will tell you about the past winners and the current giveaway. I moved from weekly giveaways to monthly just to balance things out. So you can take a look at that. It talks about the 3 ways that you can win at the end of the month. So woohoo! And I think, is that everything? I think that is everything. Oh, I can't forget that I'm actually having 50% off most of my services for the rest of the year. I know, because I love you guys. So I want to give back my pre-recorded personal readings, my Hedges of Peace and Love, and then also my Wish Upon a Star Astro reading. So All this information is in the description box of the video. And if you're new to my channel or new to these readings, all of the process of how everything works is down in the you know, description box of the video. I know I can really think and talk at the same time. Usually, it's a good thing I channel spirit. I get out of the way. But I already forgot to say. Oh, all the information about how to make a donation, to prioritize your reading, all of that in the description box of the video. So enough of the blah blah blah, and we're gonna get started into the readings. Yeah. So let me just move this over so I can see it a little better. And we've got the Ravenous Dracon Tarot that I'm using today. It's a beautiful deck. I love the. So let's take a look here. I love my dragons. All right. Yeah, love 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually I usually, of course, you recognize this. I used to have it this way, but I reorganized with this Virgo new moon energy coming in, and in the Virgo season, it just made me want to clean and sort, and so I feel so much better. I felt cluttered, and now it feels very open, and I like it. So I hope you guys like it too. We might be changing it up a little bit more. You never know, but we'll get started here. So first up, we've got Mia, and then Love 1, 2, 3, 4. I got your donation, and then Angelique, I got your donation, and then Shannon, and then I just had another one come in, which I'll look at that in a sec. But that's kind of the route we're going to start with here. So hey, Mia, how are you? Hello, dear. Thank you so much for your donation. Nice to see you too. So let's take a look here. You want to know what will surprise them the most about your letter and everything you said? Ooh, okay. Let's take a look here and see what Spirit wants you to know, which will be the surprise. Okay, they want to that and then that. Okay, that's interesting that they want it that way. Okay. And then that's the ultimate. Okay. Okay, I get it now. So they've got like a card, a card, a card, and then two cards and two cards, which these are what is on the surface, and then there's some unknown. The three cards on the bottom are their subconscious. That's coming in there. So that's interesting. So let's take a look here. So let's take a look and see. Yeah. So we've got the Three of Swords. So we've got disappointment, heartbreak feelings that rise up here, and the Five of Wands. So it feels like whatever you say, and this has nothing to do with you, you're just a mirror, right? But whatever is in this letter, it triggers some old pain. The Five of Wands is like the energy. This is the whoosh that comes up. There's like this fire that arises within them, because something scares them, and it, reminds them of past pain and hurt, and it has this rise within them. So there's this inner conflict that boom pops up here. Let's take a look here. Yeah. So under the surface, though, the subconscious is the magician, which is them wanting to take control of their life, them wanting to not feel out of control. This is them realizing subconsciously is like, I know what I'm in charge of, but they feel out of control in their outer world. And whatever is in the letter, it just kind of shakes them up. Fear of disappointing, just fears that arise that come in here. And I know it's like that surprises them that they're like, where did this come from? Because I almost feel like the letter isn't like anything like you're going rah 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 rah. I feel like you're just sharing how you feel and different things like that, right? But um something is bubbling within them that makes their inner child feel unsafe and out of control, and whoop, these alarms go off. And that's what's kind of surprising them in the first part here, is that they're like, what's going on here? What's it's like it's like someone asking something of you that they're not ready to give, and then it's fearful. You're like, "Oh my gosh, what happens if I fail? What off they go, right? The alarms go off. Let's see what these other 2 are. I'm curious now. Well, I'm always curious, but yeah. And then they have here the full card is a brand new adventure free of expectations and restrictions and things like that. And the 7 of Wands is them standing their ground and wanting to, be seen, but not wanting, this is like this kind of not wanting to have to defend themselves is that energy. And I really feel like with this coming in here, it just feels like um, they want adventure, but they want adventure without expectation. And that comes back to these, right? This is like um, the feeling of being suppressed and chained, right? And this is like the freedom they want. They want adventure, they want things. So it feel they definitely have this push and pull that's happening in response to it. And so the biggest surprise that they have, um, I feel with all of this is just their reaction to it. This internal, like, what is happening? Why am I feeling this way? Kind of energy. Let's see what's going on below the surface. Oh my gosh. Yeah, two major. Wow. So the three things that were below the surface were the magician, the hermit, and the star card. All of these represent connection to their higher self. So, the star card, the star is them. Uh, the wish come true that's beneath the surface, the hermit, this desire to be alone and to search for themselves. I mean, all three of these are about the magician is even usually there's a infinity symbol that represents this um the higher self too. So all of this feels like there's this underlying nudge for them to turn inward and upward. And again, this all of this reaction that's going on, this nudging, this disappointment, this fear of the outside world and all these restrictions, it's all designed to turn them inward and upward. And so I kind of feel like this the surprising thing is that they wanna run, and they're like, "Why do I feel the need to run?" And it's like, because it has to do with all of this that's going on the inside to turn them inward and upward. So it's very interesting. Yeah, let's take a look here and just see what their current energetic response is gonna be towards you with it all here. Yeah, it still feels here like the Wheel of Fortune, it still feels like there's this um, positive outcome with it all, um, because you have the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like, you're asking, what's going on with them? How are they going to do all that? But you're never going to see that because they are really good at putting up this um, facade of a mask, right? And they're going to show you um, not what you want to see or hear, or whatever, but they're going to reflect something on the outside. Their ultimate decision is to respond in a positive way. And I feel like they own their stuff. They're like, this is all about me. This isn't about you. I'm not going to take it out on you. I'm going to calmly pause and respond in a way that's, more human, humane, I guess, instead of their fight or flight. So I think they're going to like, calm themselves and take a look at that. So hopefully that helps. I'm like, well, not what I expected, but that's what I love about humanity. We're weird. Hey, Pallavi, and anyone else new coming in, if you want to know how the process works, check the description box of the video and it'll tell you how everything works. All right. So, Mia, thank you so much for your donation. Again, hopefully that is helpful for you. uh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there you go. All right. So we'll continue moving down the list here. And so then I had PayPal come in between before you, Shannon, a couple. Excuse me. So love, one, two, three, four. Sorry, I didn't mean to sip that close to the microphone. Is that like what do they call it? The where people listen for quiet stuff, the sipping of the coffee. All right, so let's take a look here, and thank you so much for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. I'm doing well. So let's take a look here and see. Just make sure I left off. There we go. All right. So we've got three questions. So question number one, and I hope you're doing well as well. How rude that I just tell you I'm doing great. So okay, so those are feelings. I was wondering. So those are feelings and steps. Number two. Ba-ching! I gotta do my Yoshi sound. So one, two, three for number two, and then number three. All right. Sorry that I'm kind of hacking up a little bit. We got some beautiful storms and overcast weather, which I love, but my you know, sinuses love to tell me about it. All right. So number one, these are the feelings. Wow, I like it. So we've got the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Wands. Very much attraction, very much excitement, energy coming in here. And then the Ace of Cups the Nine of Cups is like emotional wish fulfillment, this feeling, this fullness. So, really positive feelings. It's both physical and energetic attraction and a lot of emotion. Nine of Cups is like one of the dreams come true kind of emotional things. So, it's very positive there. And then the next steps, well, of course, they're going to be torn in between, right? Because this is where they've been hanging out. You're like, come on. But Ace of Pentacles sounds good. There's new opportunities that they're opening up here as they close their eyes and open their heart, as they step away from their fears and their mind. That's when they move and have these opportunities come in. So I like this very much, with all of this ace, there's this new energy coming in. So I feel like they're really coming to this focal point of decision making here to take more action. I feel like things in their life are simmering down, which allows them this more freedom, more time, more energy, more focus too. Um, all right. And then, so sorry, got a frog. You're well. Yay. And then, and lovely. All right. So, number two, you've got the world card, you've got the strength card, and you've got the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, very nurturing, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So, it's very heartfelt, very sensual here. Strength card, I like this stepping up. It just feels with both of these combined together too, and two major arcana, that it's this heightened awareness, this heightened connection, an ending of old cycles, beginning something that's again less restrictive, more open and more open and more open. That comes through here too. I just feel like they're gaining courage to share their wants and needs and desires. And I really like that coming in here too. Mia, Mia. Yeah, you're like, um, goal achieved. Boom. Very good, right? I'm glad it helped. All right. And then love 1, 2, 3 for your final question. It's all about your brother B. All right. Let's take a look here. Wow. Okay. So is there some history here? Because you've got um I like that. I mean, you've got like boom, 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 boom. Let's do them this way because I feel like this is how they unfold for you here. So you got the 5 of swords, which represents some like mental conflict and some communicative anyway, conflict and communication. We'll call it that instead. So I really like this here. That's creepy. It looks like 2 eyes watching us, right? I just noticed that. Ooh. Um, which is okay. I mean, siblings, we're gonna have disagreements, we're gonna have things, but I feel like those are from the past. And you've got the 10 of swords here, which is the ending in the beginning of these fears, these expectations. So I feel like there was a lot of expectations, a lot of communication, different ways of thinking of things, and that's where the conflict came. But the 10 of swords does show that there's this transformation, this removal of things, because you have the tower here too. So there's things that are moved out of both of your lives, things that you are working on individually that clear the space, clear the pathway to a great communication, kind of a renewed relationship over these next 5 years. But you've got the moon card, which is all about the stuff that's bubbling below the surface, the subconscious things that you guys aren't even aware of yet that are bubbling down there. And it goes back, I mean, when we're teenager and adult, um, more adult, we forget all of this inner child who the conflict with the other inner child of our sibling. We don't realize what's all down there until something comes up and we're like, "Brah," right? So there is this energy, this of transforming some old fears, some old thoughts, some old beliefs in the relationships with your brother, and it transforms. The 5 years looks good. It feels like it, whatever this internal underlying conflict is, it works itself out because both of you are working on your inner selves. And you can't be concerned with what they're working on. You can only work on your own, of course. And so there is this transformation that happens with all of that. So I like that for you. It feels very positive. Just if there's any conflict and any fears arise, let those triggers that rise go, oh, so um let's go back and revisit some things. So yeah, I definitely feel like I don't feel like it gets any I don't say it gets any worse. I just feel like conflicts, your life is changing and things are happening, so you're transforming inside, so things will rise up for you to take care of and have things be moved out of the way, the clarity, because you're moving up. So as your vibration rises, your love vibration, you recognize the lower vibrational stuff that was there, that you didn't notice before, because it becomes louder and louder. It's like you don't realize some noise until it's, like, silent, and you're like, "What is that?" And it's been something that's been on for years, but now it comes to your attention. So it's more that I feel like that is going on than anything else. So that's what they have for you. So many blessings. Love 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, thank you so much for your donation. And then Angelica, and yes, Angelica, right? Yes, Angelica. Sorry, I saw Angelica and Angelique. My my brain was like confused for a sec. So Angelica, thank you so much for your donation. And let's see here. I think I saw you ask your question down here. I know I saw it. Let me see. Is it up here? I will find it. I think. There you go. Okay, down here. What your guardian angels want you to know. All right, yeah, let's take a look here. I love that question. Let's take a look here. So, what do your guardian angels want you to know right now? All right. So 2 and 4, let's take a look here. Okay. Wow, look at you really taking control of your energy. You've got the Queen of Wands who does grab her Ace of Wands and she really super focuses it where it's going. And this is like also a kudos to you for your journey that you've been on with your guardian angels and your spiritual entourage, because not only does the Queen of Wands like rule over spiritual power, in addition to the energy and intentions, all the queens are given a second portion of water, which is the connection to, the emotions and the spirit world. So strong, strong connection that you've been growing with spirit. So I love it. And then the 10 of Wands is the ending of where you've been investing your energy and a beginning. It's like it can represent a burden and harvest at the same time. But with this awareness and with this stepping up, your guardian angels are letting you know it's wise for you to look at where you're investing all of your energy and let things go. Let those things, fall away. Let this, drop off because you are, it's like super focusing your energy in one thing and not 10 because it's like you're being pulled in so many directions, but everything that seems urgent is not important. And so this is your guardian angel saying, be aware of where you're investing all of your energy and focus on what's important. Urgent things are not necessarily important, so they can be dropped off there. Oh, nice. Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense that you've got all of this beautiful energy around you, and they're wanting you to know, it's like the veil is becoming very thin between you and the spirit world because of where you've been focusing all this. So I really, really like it. And it does make sense here because I mean you've got you got the magician card, which is another, like, they hold the magic wand. This is you connecting to your higher self and allowing that beautiful energy that you're feeling from above to come down through you and into the earth. You're becoming this conduit of unconditional love. And I feel like you're on this awareness of how do you really want to focus your energy? Where do you want it to go? How do you want to express that unconditional love into the world in your own unique way? And you've got the Fool card here with the Justice card. And, with these two combined, the Justice card is the balancing of the scales, right? Where they are, it's like this in two major arcana, too significant, seeing what is of your fears of the human world, connecting more to the higher, um, truths, the capital T truths of the higher realm that help cut away the thoughts, the beliefs, the mindsets that no longer serve you, that are of fear. And the Fool card is the first card in the major arcana, leaving the World card behind, which is endings of old cycles and new beginnings. And this, both of these together, represent seeing the world differently, so, with so many less restrictions and things. And the Full card is almost like a little child who goes up on this adventure. They don't know the yes and no's of all the conditioning we get through praise and punishment, and they don't see restriction. They see the world as wide open and free, and that there's all this wonderment that's available. Which brings us to the Four of Cups. So the three cups of the outside world that have not, um, brought you satisfaction. Here's the Ace of Cups being offered to you, the high love, the chalice, the holy grail, where you get to fill up and it gets to overflow out to the world. So I love this that, it's all of this journey, like they're almost telling you there's this upgrade available, this download, of higher information that takes you to higher places, that allows you to go in a more of a direction that you're wanting to accomplish in this life. So I love this for you. Um, so I feel like that all resonates for you there, and just trust the change of thinking and mindset that comes in with all of that as well. So I like that for you, and that is what they have for you right now, Angelica. So thank you again so much for your donation, and I greatly appreciate it. All right, and let's see where we left off here. I'm excited. I am excited for you. All right, so that was those, and then so Shannon, hey Shannon Marie, thank you so much for your donation. And you would love if spirit could tell you why you lost your tooth last night. Right? It's like, what happened? Why did you lose your tooth? Let's take a look here. See what spirit wants you to know. What was the significance? Yeah, I totally agree. Nothing happens for no reason, The dreams we have, the um I mean everything happens on purpose for a purpose, right? All right. Let's take a look here. What is the goal here? Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's interesting. It's it's this here, let me show you. Would you like to see the cards? You got the full card, letting go of the old and stepping into the new. And I like that there's this they're like, this is how we wanted to get your attention, to let you know of things that are changing, because we just talked about the full card, the the world card comes before it, letting go of old cycles, beginning of new cycles, freedom of letting things go that no longer serve. And I like this because with all of this too, you got, so that was your first card, and then the second card that came out independently was the Four of Pentacles, which this is this beautiful, solid foundation in the outside world. But this brings in this awareness that the things of the outside world will not make us feel full and complete. And as things drop away, as things change in the outside world, it turns us inward and inward and inward, because it tells us there's this message here of, we're taught to define our self-worth by the outside world, relationship situations and things, including our body, our teeth, everything. And we're taught to define ourselves by that. But when we do, we feel unstable because, people change, they walk away, they pass away. So relationships are unstable. Situations like jobs and educations are unstable. Our bodies deteriorate, things, bank accounts break down, burn down, blow up, stolen, all of this stuff, right? Um, Turns us inward and upward to where we see the world differently. We find our self worth inward and upward, because the outside world is retail price. The inward world is the where we find our self worth, rooted in the only stable thing in this realm, which is the eternal, unconditional love um, of the higher realms, right? So I like this, that they're saying that you lost your tooth to show you the lack of stability in the outside world, and as a reminder to go inward and upward. I it seems like you don't have to go such an extreme, but that's your spirit guides, and I feel like you're like, yeah, that's them. I know how it goes. So I feel like that is what is going on here. So um so we've got the also the suspended here, which is the hanged man, which is this energy here. Excuse me. So we've got this the suspended hanged man, which is about seeing things from a higher perspective, seeing things from the higher place. So that is right in alignment here with the star, which is connecting to your higher self, and the Queen of Swords, balancing your heart and your mind. So we've got all of this coming in here with this nudge to connect to your higher self, to see things from this higher perspective. And I just feel like there's this the Queen of Swords even has the Ace of Swords, which connects to capital T truths and seeing things from a higher perspective. So it just feels like this nudge of, okay, that's what's happening. It's like, okay, thank you for that. Next time, can you just send me a text? But I like it. Your spirit guides, they're like, we're gonna do what we need to do for you, and I like your approach, knowing that everything does happen for you. Excuse me. So thank you again so much for your beautiful question. I was wondering where that was all gonna go. I just get to go for the along for the ride, so thank you. They're like, "We got your attention." "Oh, you did." "Yeah, yeah, bruh, 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 bruh. We need to talk." We need a, what is it? A conference, staff meeting. You're very welcome, Shannon, and thank you again so much for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right. And then up next, let me see here. So then, Angelique, I see your donation came in next. So you will be up next. And let's take a look here. Okay, I see there. Okay, there it is. So a love reading with emphasis on the person you met recently. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, let's take a look here. All right. So love reading emphasis on the person you met recently. Okay. See, they want very specific always. They want that one and that one. All right. Let's see what we got here. It's like a little, I don't know, dominoes. It's like beer, 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 beer. Okay. Well, all right. All right. Well, you got a lot of patience and waiting here. So I'll give you that advance warning right now. It's all right. Whenever that happens, that does give us the opportunity for the first card, which is in this one, that's the judgment card, which is your higher self calling you to this higher place. This is your human selves, your higher self calling you out of your grave up to this higher place. So whenever this happens and this comes in, and then I understand what the rest of all this means, because it is this raising your love vibration, raising your self love. Because one, we don't want to do what we've always done, get what we've always gotten, right? Bleh, we're done with that. Um, but also, we can't receive love or give love to others more than to the extent that we love ourselves. Our self love pipeline gets clogged with a lot of beliefs and thoughts and mindsets growing up that diminish our self worth, which is the challenge. All right, now my pipeline is clogged. Now, how am I going to clean this out? That's the journey. That's the adventure, right? So, of course, we've got the Seven of Pentacles, which came up next, which is the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. This is one of the patience cards. So, we've got things are unfolding step by step. Things go slowly to give you time to cut away these mindsets and emotions that no longer serve you, raising your love vibration so you'll draw in higher vibrational experiences in love rather than that we had before. And as we unfold here, this is what we're talking about, the 10 of Wands. All of the energy you're investing in trying to live up to all the supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts that you've been given all your life, that we all been given since very young. As soon as we started understanding language, even probably before then, we're like, oh my God, this is all this pressure of all this stuff, right? And so we've got this 10 of Wands that's coming in that tells us it's time to end and review where you're investing all of your energy and whittle away the stuff that doesn't really matter. It's like, why do I care about that? Oh, because I was taught to care about that either by hearing it, witnessing it, being told it, whatever. So there's this clarity because the next card after that is the 7 of swords. Letting go of your these thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that have deceived you, that have stolen opportunities and love and different things out of your life. And a lot of this has to do with stuff that's below the surface, right? Sometimes it's become such a habit, we don't even feel like we're choosing and responding and reacting to these things, but it's true. It's coming true. It's bubbling up from underneath the subconscious, and we just have this tendency to act a certain way and do certain things, but that's what's happening. So I like the freedom that comes in here because like I said, you have another temperance card, but the temperance card is the going back and forth, the alchemy, things that are unfolding, things that are changing this, you know, um, uh, base metal into gold. And so that's the transformation that's happening with love. And that will bring the Ace of Pentacles, which is new opportunities in the outside world. So it's just things are going to go slow here between you, just love in general, but specifically with this other person too. But it's good. It's for you because otherwise, it's going to end up like those other individuals. And you don't want that. You want something new, something bigger, something deeper, something uh, more in alignment with your heart. And that's what's unfolding. That's what's coming through. So that's what's happening right now for you, Angelique. So I'm happy for you, even though patience um, really disagrees with our human side. But it happens for us. As long as we go, this is for me. This is for me. All right. It's going to bring me something beautiful. It's like taking bread out of the oven too early. You know what? It's going to be a good bread. I'm not going to bite into it and have dough in the middle of it and be all, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be the best bread ever. And so that's the promise, the incentive to move towards that. So that is what's coming in for you, Angelique. And again, thank you so much for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. And hang in there, honey. All right. So we'll continue moving down. All right. And I just want to make sure and everyone's hearing me okay. I don't know if someone said it was going in and out. If that if everything, can you guys hear me okay? I'm sure you guys will let me know. All right. All right. And then up next here, yeah, we've got Patty and then Dune up next. So, Patty, thank you so much for your donation. Hello, hello. So, where's best to invest your energy? You've got pest control business or training of small business owners. Wow. So, where does spirit show the most success for you? So, we'll pull cards here first for what will the pest control business bring you? And then we'll take a look here and see. Okay. And then what about the small business? All right. So the pest control. All right. Well, I do see here. Let me see what this other one brings to. Interesting. All right. So you've got the Two of Pentacles, which shows this balance. So the pest control business does make this, it's like this ebb and flow and balancing and cyclical, it feels like, in the pest control. I don't know if that feels seasonal. Maybe that is. Maybe there's, like a bigger, you know, maybe it is spring and summer. There's this big push, and then winter and fall, all the pests are dead. I don't know. Maybe it just feels like it's cyclical. So they want to bring that into there. But you have the 10 of cups, which is this great feeling of abundance, this great feeling of emotional fulfillment. So that's in there. And you have the 6 and the 8 of swords, which is great because this is thought and belief and mindset. It's about leaving behind old ways of thinking and letting fears go, which allows a flow of thought and idea and movement. So it does bring movement and change of thought and belief. Just like seeing things from a different perspective is important with all of that here. Letting go of controlling um, I don't know, it's like you don't have to do everything the same way as everyone else. Trust your imagination and your ideas. Don't go, "Well, I need to do everything like everyone else." It's like that's gonna feel restrictive. They're saying that you can have this joyful, open feeling if you do it your way, instead of everyone else's way. So I like that. Seasonal and kinda cyclical comes in here. I almost feel like you can do both. We'll talk about that here in a sec. Because I like this, training of small business owners because you've got the emperor here, which is the the ruler over kings, and they, of course, listen to advice from others, but ultimately they have to make a decision for themselves and make their choices and put form around the choices that they're making, right? I feel like this is something that you help train is you help small business owners realize how they can make their own choices and stand up for themselves and just empower other kings, right? So I like that coming in here. You have the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles is it's slow moving. That's why I almost feel like you can do both because I feel like this takes time to grow. And where one is seasonal, you'll have like downtime, um, which is interesting because it's almost like the busy time of um your of the pest control feels like it's also the busy time of all small business owners, and your downtime is also like their downtime where they have the time to actually get training, where they like, I'm too busy, I can do that later. Well, you also have more time to do that later, if that makes sense. So this is that kind of small, slow growth. And during the slow times is when you can do the training, right? I like the high priestess coming in here and the page of swords because this is again coming back to trusting your gut, trusting your ideas. The high priestess is able to step away, see things from a different perspective, bring things up. So trusting your gut and intuition is coming into both of these, your ideas, the way you approach it, stepping outside of the norm. And I like this. I almost feel like they're saying you can do both because you've got the 8 of wands, and 2 things with the 8 of wands. 1, a ton of energy and your ability to balance your energy between the 2. And then the 8 of wands also is about messages from spirit and that you'll get confirmation, synchronicities, and that has to do with the high priestess and connecting, trusting your gut and trusting your intuition. So I feel like they're saying that both. It's like the pest control would be the fastest success, but there's also downtime with that. It's cyclical. So, pest control goes down, small business, training of small businesses. And I feel like there's this, you're able to do it because when this is going down, you have the energy and time to do that. and then when that goes down, then here comes back the pest control. So I feel like there's this ability to do both, um, pest control first, small business owner second, um, but I feel like you're able to do both. So that is what I feel coming in here for you, Patty. So hopefully that makes sense and something that you may want to do. But I feel like you could be successful at both with all those. All right. Let me just make sure I'm at here. So Patty right here. There we go. So many blessings to you. Yeah, you can even have a deal with small business owners, and we'll even give you a discount on your pest control. I like it. Yeah, and I feel like you do pest control for small businesses, and then you can say, "Hey, I also have this training." I like the, just the walking hand in hand that those have together. All right. So many blessings, Patty. All right. And sorry, let me just scroll here. I'm just going back and forth between emails, but I can see the timestamp so I know who came in when. So, Dune, you are definitely up next here. So, we'll go to you. Thank you for your donation. So, you are starting a web shop. All right. Say, will it go well? Let's take a look here and see what Spirit wants you to know. Okay, that one, and then that one. Oh, and then what's hidden, they want on the bottom. So, we'll take a look here. All right. Well, I do like this. What's hidden here? All right. So I do see here with the Hierophant, we've got this understanding what it is you truly want. We've got this invitation from your higher self to really focus on your capital T truths of who you want to be, what you want to do, how you want things to unfold. And so there is this invitation to see things from a higher perspective, because you've got the Justice card, which is, and the Four of Swords, peace of mind. All of this has to do with connecting to higher truth and cutting away the fear, seeing things from a higher perspective allows you success in this, in it, because you do end up with the 10 of Pentacles. But a lot of this has to do with like what do you define as success? And I feel like there's this redefining of success as you see things from a higher perspective, right? Because we can have a lot of financial success, but we feel empty on the inside and nothing, it doesn't feel fulfilling. And like with me doing what I'm doing, even though I'm not making you know, the money I did when I was in corporate management, I'm so much happier. I feel so much more successful in life because I'm living my dream and I feel peace and peace of mind, and I'm in a completely different place. So the money, you know, definition changed for me. The what I have, what I own, what I would tell people, when you tell people I'm an IT manager or whatever, da 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 da, ooh, now people go, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Well, I do tarot reading, I connect with spirit and stuff." And they're like, "Oh," they don't know what to think, right? Um, but I feel like there's this redefining of who you are, what you're doing, and how things are coming in there. Yeah. So it definitely is there. And the hidden thing, the unknown, you have the Eight of Pentacles, which is more knowledge, more training, more education, putting in the blood, the sweat, and the tears makes the wheels spin, and it brings you into newer places, brings you the abundance, brings you. So there could be maybe webinar or YouTube videos. There's some education, there's some higher knowledge that you could learn, but it's going to take a little bit of work. It's not just going to fall in our lap, of course. So this is Eight of Pentacles is about, the apprentice putting in the blood, the sweat, the time to learn the skill, to elevate the skill, and as they do, then things start to spin and things do come to them. So I like that for you, Dune. It's very positive here. I love the transformation because it doesn't mean that we don't get good income. It just means we also change our meaning of success, and it just allows us, in a way, to be a lot happier with less because we're more happier on our insides too, if that makes sense. So that is what they have for you. So I like it. So many, many blessings to you. No, Rishi, I haven't started the free readings yet. I'm still doing donations. So yeah, thank you, Shannon, for mentioning too. All right, and then let's see, that one came in at that time frame. So love 1 2 3 4. I do see your donation. There's a few other people that have one before you though. So we will be to you momentarily. Yeah, you're like, should you just sign back up? You're like, you know, it's up to you. Sometimes it's just easier to not have something on a automatic withdrawal, and you just donate. You end up donating more. Obviously, you do. Uh, so it's up to you, my dear. You're so funny. All right. So up next, we've got Crow's Nest. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for your donation. Good to see you. You want to know Hugo's current feelings and next actions in the near future? Absolutely. Let me take a sip here. All right, there we go. So let's take a look here. Wow. All right. So I have 4 cards coming out all grouped together. And then 1, 2, 3, and then 2. All right. Well, 4, 3, 2. What's this countdown toward, right? So let's take a look and see what's going on here. All right. Well, you got full like a royal house here. You got the King of Swords. So there are a lot of thoughts going on, a lot of stuff in their head with the King of Swords. All the kings rule over their own suit, plus are given a second portion of air. So masters of overthinking, which makes sense. And we've got the Eight of Swords. I like this coming in together though, because it's like the thinking isn't just, I don't know, I feel like when we asked this before, maybe because they're showing me like a looping, the circle, like loading, 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 and it just feels like, is it really doing anything or is it just spinning, right? Well, in this case, with the Eight of Swords, this is about movement of thought. So it's almost like it was doing that, and all of a sudden, boop, you see a little loading bar. You're like, good sign, 10%, 11%, 12%. So there is movement of thought. This thought is turning into action eventually, which I like. And yeah, and it makes sense here. So we have the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So very much the Knight of Wands is the fastest moving knight. I feel like it's going to fly out of nowhere. And the Queen of Wands, I feel, is you. So I feel like the Knight of Wands serves the Queen of Wands. She's like, I want this Ace of Wands. I need a knight to go on a quest. And like, I will do it for you. And so the knight rides off to do the Queen's bidding, and I feel like that's what's coming forward here. And I feel like it's gonna like happen out of nowhere. It's like you've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and suddenly something just is clicking, and what is causing this movement. Let's see what these other cards are about here. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. So he is stepping past his fears here with the Nine of Swords. It's the nightmare, the insomnia card, but the 9 is the hermit's journey, and it is also the endings. 10 is when things end and begin. The 9 is that they're at the end of this fears and overthinking and all of this. And I like that we've got the Fool card, which is freedom, a new adventure without all of these restrictions, trying to cage the dragon, right? It's free from all of these, thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, here, which made sense because we had the 8 of Swords. It's going in progression, right? They feel like they're blinded and bound and trapped before, but now there's this freedom that's coming through all of this. And we've got both the Full card and the Empress, which does talk about a new adventure free of all that and new beginnings with the Empress, too, which is. Of course, sensuality, which all that wands energy. So there's is this attraction, but there's also this nurturing, this love, this coming together here. So it feels here like based on present energies that things are unfolding, things are churning and moving where they're wanting to take action. And I feel like that does here. Yeah. Yeah, we've got the 5 Hierophant and the 5 of Cups, so there is this change that's coming, and it's more in alignment with these capital T truths of who they've wanted to be. I feel like they've been trying to figure themselves out probably for a while, I feel, but I feel like things are finally not finally, because that's like a judgment, word, but perfectly unfolding now. They've taken the perfect amount of time, because that's like a butterfly, right? We're like, "Come on, butterfly, caterpillar, change to a butterfly faster." It's like it's gonna take the perfect amount of time for them to transform, and it's worth the wait, because I feel like they're letting go of these old emotions. They've taken the time where it's with the 2 of Cups here, they have really learned about their power of emotional choice during this mental journey, which is interesting. But unless they're an air sign, then that makes total sense because I know being an Aquarian myself that I can read about stuff and then emotionally apply it. So I don't know, are they an Aquarian? I don't know. But I like this energy that comes in here. He's a Libra. Okay, well, that makes sense too, because they definitely can do that. Um, especially Libra, who, rules over relationship, um, too. They're able to balance those on the scales there. One scale is the mind, really, and one is the heart. And they're like, I can do it. I just got consumed in because I had overthinking. I need to balance things out. I needed to get things off of this side of the scale. So I like this for you, Crow's Nest. It feels like sooner than later with, the um, Knight of Wands, which is the fastest moving knight. And I don't have any, and all this new birth and full card. It doesn't feel, um, delayed. Whew, thank God. But, we know it's perfect timing. Yeah, yeah. So I feel like they're figuring things out. They're stepping beyond the fears, and they're like, "What am I worried about? What else do I feel is it'd be out there?" I feel like they're just working through all of that, so I like it. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. More fears dropping away. All right. So thank you again so much for your donation. I appreciate that and enjoy your Libra adventure. In fact, we've got Libra. So their birthday must be coming up soon, right? Because we've got um, yeah, Libra. We're moving into Libra and we got a Libra full moon, new moon? We got something in Libra coming up. Um, I've been looking at my Moon Day Mondays, but I'm recording in advance. But we got some good stuff coming, so I like it. All right. So many blessings. No, Crystal, I haven't gotten if yours is a free reading, I haven't even started those yet. And I'm going through donations right now. All right. And anyone else, thank you guys so much for your patience. Donations are how I live and survive. And so they make it possible for the free readings. If I don't get to many of the free readings during the session, I generally will come back on later and complete a large majority of the free readings. But if you want it within this session, donations, I do prioritize those. And all that information is in the description box of the video if you guys want to check it out. All right. And then let me see here. So let's see here. Love 1, 2, 3, 4 years came in at 11:31. All right. So Luna Ray, you are up next, and then Love 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll be up after that, and then Courtney. All right. So Luna Ray, hey, 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 and your question is above. All right. So let me scroll. Oh my goodness. Ah, there it is. Hi, Zen. So, what are Terry's next actions towards you? Wondering if he's almost awake. Too funny. All right, let's take a look here, Luna Ray. You're so funny. All right. So, what are his next actions? And is he almost awake? Okay, and then the hidden on the bottom. We'll take a look here. So next actions. So we've got the moon card coming in here. So you got the moon, the king of cups, and the three of wands coming in for his next actions. And the moon card is, we've got the hidden, the unknown. Um, I just there's so much emotionally. Yeah, with the king of cups too, the emotional balancing of emotion and mind, right? All the kings are given second portion of air of the mind. There's this balancing that has to happen here first before they can take this new direction in their life. Um, I just feel that they're right now, it's almost like this is answering our second question. We'll see what these other cards are here because I feel like they're still focused emotionally and there this balancing that's going on here. And um, I feel like in this moment, they're like, I just want to stay by kind of almost hermity and within myself and busy and trying to keep my mind off things. But it takes all of this before they'll able to, change directions with the three of wands here. So I feel like um, their next actions are undetermined because they're still doing their inner work. Let's see what these other three cards are here. Okay. Well, yeah. What's hidden here? Okay. So of course we got the Knight of Pentacles, which is telling me, and this is answering our other question is he almost awake? Not quite. Tick, tick, tick. The night, the slowest moving night out of all the nights. Last thing, that's going to unfold. And so we've got this, foundation that they're working on. The Page of Pentacles, looking at their worth in relationship to the outside world. The knight is in a quest for this, and the page is trying to find that. So they've got all that energy coming in here. And the Four of Pentacles is this, stability in the outside world. And there's this new definition of what home means to them. The Four of Pentacles, I just feel a part of all this that's happening. It's interesting because I think I just was it this morning or yesterday because the Four of Pentacles came to my mind, and there's like this we redefine because home, when we're younger, if it wasn't happy, our definition of home feels very unstable. And most recently, whatever relationship that they were in that they've left just reinforced this. And that's why it's so important it's like they're determining home is where their heart is, not these other places. And there's this beautiful transformation that's happening, which we definitely want to happen before you guys, meet up. before you guys have this, joining together and the recognition of each other. I know English. Um, so it feels like they're determining this, and this is what we want. What was hidden on the bottom is, the Queen of Wands, which is, of course, connecting to spirit, connecting to, intuition, because the Queen of Wands has this here. And I feel like they are kind of on this spiritual journey where they are awakening, and this is happening below the surface. It's just making in its way to the surface. Just a lot of subconscious stuff, a lot of emotional healing, and I don't like the word healing, transformation, a lot of emotional transformation, because healing is like it's broken. It's like, no, they wanted to experience it all, but at the perfect time, things do transform. So, we trust spirit that they're going to do things in the perfect timing. And of course, whenever we are looking for love or a job or really anything in life, and we're getting all of these patience cards, when we realize they are for us, and that it's allowing us, not to move forward into something that's not ready for us to be there, because then it just falls apart. So we'd rather not do what we've always done and get what we've always gotten, but focus on raising our love vibration. What of my own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets and fears can be released regarding myself, the world, love, whatever. It just makes it, expanding my self love just allows me to give and receive love more. So I feel like that, is important. Also letting go and transforming emotions that no longer serve us, even relationships and people, making the space for it in our lives. So I like that. And that is what is coming in for you right now. So hopefully that resonates, Luna Ray. I know. Ugh. Come on already. What did we agree you were gonna torture me in this lifetime? Snap, snap, buttercup, right? All right. But many blessings to you. And thank you again for your donation. All right. And so love 1234. You are up next. Yep. So very good. Thank you for your additional donation. You're so funny. And then, yeah, and then Courtney and Johanna, you guys will be up next. So, love 1234. Let me just refresh these. You're so funny. All right. So you have three questions. So question number one. All right. Wow. Okay. Is that one of your questions? You're so funny. So, and then number two, and number three. All right, let's take a look here. So, what will you be doing job wise here? Let's take a look here. Wow. Well, um, so you got the Four of Cups first here. And when we looking at the Four of Cups, it just feels like it's something you haven't done before, because here's the other jobs, here's the other stuff you've done, and you're being offered something that's more fulfilling for you here. So I like that. Um, we've got the Queen of Swords, and we've got, of course, we have to have the Queen of Wands when we're talking about you, and the Sun card. So all of these, um, are telling me here the Queen of Swords is balancing of heart and mind, and the Queen of Wands is balancing heart and passion. So it's doing something from the heart. for sure. And the sun represents, of course, Leo energy. Doing what you love, showing expressing yourself, even the childlikeness. It's like, what do you want to do? What do you love doing? And doing something different, the heart wants to be expressed here. I mean, the Four of Cups, of course, told us that right from the start, that this is the heart wanting to express itself. The other cups were empty feeling, but this is about filling up and being true to you and allowing yourself to enjoy what you're doing instead of, getting out of your mind and into your heart. Um, Really getting quiet and trusting your gut and your instinct to follow your heart, follow that gut, and get out of the mind with all of this here. So, you know, I feel like there it's like, well, I want to know what it is and where it's at. But when we're it's almost like asking a grandparent that's taking you into a toy store to buy you a toy, going, all right, which toy are you going to get me? And they're like, I don't know. What do you want? And you're like, well, what do you want to give me? What is it going to be? And they're like, well, go look. What do you want? What interests you? What makes your heart sing? I'll get you whatever you want. But it's following the heart, not trying to tell them what you are supposed to at industry, what job, what everything in there, right? There's this adventure, and it's the fear of choosing the wrong one, the fear of something not unfolding. What is it going to be? I need to know. I need to know where to look. I need to whatever. And they're like, go scour the aisles, and what your heart is attracted to, you know, go for it. It's like, what do I want to do? What makes my heart sing? What stands out of all, getting out of the mind of the supposed to, should, need to, have to. And it's like, well, what do I want to go do? What's good for right now? Don't think about, well, this is going to have to be something I do for a certain amount of months, years, whatever. It's like, let me go explore, you know, um, temp work, contract work, whatever it is to go, whatever it takes for you to make ends meet while you go explore, do it. I just feel like there's this freedom that comes in with all of this. The queen's trying to control things, but it's like the joy of the sun card, keeps coming in. It's the little child going, I want to go play, I want to go enjoy things. Why am I, trying to, you know it's like someone going, it's time to wake up, time to go to school. Yeah. So, it's exactly doing temporary stuff and just saying, what looks good, and knowing that the exact perfect things are going to open up for us. What is meant for us will never pass us by. But there's a lot of leeway in our life. It's an improv play, and then so there's themes, but we get to do so much of it ourselves. And we're afraid, what if I do it wrong? In improv, there's no wrong. There's just stuff that works and doesn't work in the comedic, you know, styles. But it's like, okay, that didn't work. Let me try something else. They don't, oh no, it's like, let's just keep moving along and trying different things. It's improv. No one expects perfection. Creator and them don't expect us to, they're like, have fun. We're here to have fun and to enjoy the adventure. And I feel like that's what they're really kind of nudging you towards with that, is have the fun, enjoy it, especially with that sun card coming in very strong there. So they're not giving me anything else. They're like, no, no, no. Um, the grandparent taking us to a park to play. Well, what should I get on? Whatever you want. The swing, is the swing what I should get on? Whatever you want. The slide, the merry-go-round. We kinda look at them in their face going, "I'm looking for a little, like, a wink or something. Any of these?" They're like, "Go have fun. What do you wanna do? There's no wrong choice right now." And there's never no wrong choice, but they're like, where you're at in your transition and transformation of your life and everything, they're like, "Go have fun. don't judge yourself so harshly. Woo. All right. And then number 2, well, of course, he's gonna be talking about his fears, but letting go of fears. I love the 10 of swords, and I love that there's a clock. It's like almost the same clock. Temperance, they're taking their time, things are unfolding, things are moving forward, they're letting stuff go. The 10 of swords is a great card, it's that comes after the 9 of swords, the nightmare insomnia, right? So they're stepping out of the fears and the thoughts and the beliefs and the mindsets that don't serve, and they're telling their friends this, their close friends. They're like, "Yeah, I'm taking my time, but I'm just really, I'm um, making this progress." They just feel like they're ready to, drop expectations and these fears and move forward. So I like that they're close friends. They're of course telling this too, but I like this here because here's the heart. Even they're just like my expectations around, the thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, all the stuff that's been restricting me, the fears of love, they're letting stuff go. And I feel like they are talking to, I don't feel like they have a lot of close friends. I feel like they have a lot of acquaintances, but and I feel like maybe, I don't know, they have a brother. I just feel like they're close, someone who feels like a brother to them, if not a brother, that there's like this one that they just talk to things about. And I like this person for them because they're a good sounding board. They don't let them, they call them out on their stuff. And they're like, dude, why are you letting that bother you? Why are you caught up in the past? Why are you looking at this? You really need to look at that. I like it. So I like that. And then number 3, well, there is movement. We've got the Knight of Pentacles, which is things are moving slowly. Um, so maybe not, right? Um, we've got this, 6 and 8 of swords, which is leaving behind thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that no longer serve, leaving behind fears. That's what allows flow, right? 6 and 8s, when you think about those as um, 3 on each side or 4 on each side, there's this nice river in the middle, which is the flow. But I feel like with right in between them all is the 7 of swords, is our own thoughts, fears, and beliefs. That's what dams up and makes things slow down. So if we're able to, let go of this, energy, um, of these fears that we have around abundance, around what things mean, that that's what allows things to flow then. So kind of feel like they're saying, um, things are moving slow with your finances on purpose to let go of fears regarding, what does it mean? What does it mean? What ultimately do we fear, right? Um, I know money makes the world go around, right? But when it comes down to it, what do we fear? I mean, there's fear of what people will think. There's fear we're going to lose all of our stuff, and then what will people think? There's fear that we'll starve to death. Really? And when we bring these fears out into the light, that's when we really realize it's a bunch of malarkey. It's a bunch of bull, honky, mofo. Because ultimately, we're always going to have what we need in the moment. And it may not be everything that our ego wants, but we're going to have everything we need. And the, our little emotional inner child is scared of change and things being out of control. But when we, whatever we focus on the most is what we become the experts at, right? If I focus on my fears, I'm going to become really, really a master at finding things to fear in my life. If I focus and practice on gratitude, then I'm going to be really, really good and become a master at finding gratitude in things that most people can't find, right? So what do we want to become the expert in? I feel is what is coming up through this lesson of life here. But I feel like, you know, it, it all comes down to your thoughts and your focus with all of that, which is interesting because I know I can put myself in those shoes, be like, oh my God, what if I didn't have money to pay that bill? Late fee. Okay, so what's a late fee? What? Repossession. So, maybe that's a freedom thing, It's like, okay, but we have all this mindset of things that we're taught that we're afraid of, like I know I declared bankruptcy after two unhealthy relationships where I was an enabler in codependent relationships where yeah, I co-signed for cars twice and, um, maxed out all my credit cards, making sure we had everything we wanted for them to be happy, you know, that DVD, those 1,000 DVDs over time or whatever, it's like whatever it was, it built, 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 and, I had the belief in my from my childhood, my dad talking about because he was a salesman and people that got turned down for the contracts of the things he was selling, he had words about those and judgments, and I heard about that, and I go, "I never wanna be on that side of my dad's judgment." So I had this fear. I had to always have enough, always pay my bills, even if I, had to sacrifice other stuff. I would make sure my bills were paid, because God, I didn't want a bill not to be paid and for my credit to be bad and for my dad to judge me harshly. And my dad wasn't really in my life a whole lot either, but you still had all this. And then, I got to that point where I would pay off enough on credit cards to be able to buy groceries to pay off enough on credit cards. I was living in perpetual debt. And I was finally just like, I gotta clear this out, and I loved how creator speaks through people because the bankruptcy lawyer said, you know, bruddaZEN. He used my real name, uh, which is Dennis back then. And he said, Dennis, everyone deserves a second chance. And I just sat there and was like, what? And that's great. What a wonderful freedom. And I was just like, well, whatever's going to happen, to happen. And my dad still loves me, even though I don't know. I think I told him. Maybe I never told him. But, it's wonderful. There's freedom that comes in that. I feel like that was for more than just you and me, but that's what they have for you. So that is the answer. Boom, boom, boom. So many blessings to you. Love 1, 2, 3, 4. And thank you again for your donation. And you get to decide if you want to subscribe or not. You can see how it goes. See if you have more questions. See if you want to have all the other benefits too. And if you're just like, well, let's just see, it's up to you. Never any pressure. All right. And then Courtney, you are up next. So, Courtney, you want to know, and thank you for your donation. If I did not thank you, wow, I'm like jumping in. Does M realize that you don't want to be bothered with her behavior anymore? Let's take a look here. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Wow. Okay. So, it's so let me just show you the card. So you've got the 9 of cups, which is emotional wish fulfillment, dreams come true. You've got the 8 of pentacles, which is all about, doing the work, the blood, the sweat, and the tears and things moving forward. Um, and this transformation of things, right? And we've got the Fool card, which is about new beginnings and, something free of expectations. And then let's see if I can do all these. And then the 9 of pentacles. So these four all came out together. You've got of course 2 9s. We'll start with those. Let me see. Let me do it this way. There we go. So you've got this, hermit energy too. The 9 is all about the hermit and the inner journey. And what's funny is when I read your question, the first thing I heard in my brain from spirit was, do you realize that you don't want to be bothered by your behavior anymore? And this inner journey, this inner reflection is like, um, they are a mirror for you and you're a mirror for them. You have no idea what you're seeing in them and the behavior that they're seeing that they don't like. But it's all about them reflecting you back to you, with all of this, because there's like, you've been doing the work, you have this progression, you're ready to become this butterfly, right? I look at the 8 of Pentacles as going into the cocoon, doing the work, and then you come out the butterfly, right? And the full card is about ending of old cycles and beginning of new things, is what the world card is. The last card in the major arcana that brings you to the first card in the major arcana, which is something free of a lot of thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, right? There's this freedom that comes in. It's like, oh, wow. So, these individuals that have their behavior, um, it's like they have no control over you being bothered about their behavior, because what's bothering you in their behavior is the behavior that's being mirrored. Because, and it doesn't have to be the exact same way, right? Like, I was bothered by people that betrayed me, is what my perception was, till I realized I was betraying myself. And then I was like, oh, now I understand why I saw betrayal out there, because it was all going on in here too. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. But I feel like there's this freedom because, I mean, seriously, you've got these nines, right? And then you've got also the 9 of Swords. 3 nines, all about the inner hermit journey, the inner reflection going on, and all of this freedom that's coming, this release that's coming. And I like it because when we're bothered enough by someone's external behavior, even if we uh like ostracize them out of our life, wherever we go, there we are. And if we take that self-reflection period to transform things, we get true freedom. Otherwise, we just meet them either again in our life or meet them in someone else's body, where we're like, why do I keep attracting? And seriously, five all 5 of my longest term relationships I had, were showing me the same thing over and over until I saw it. And I'm like, "Oh, I can run, but I can't hide," And it was like, wow, it was disrespect. I was disrespecting myself, just doing it in a variety of different ways. 3 of them, out went to relationships outside our relationship when they agreed we didn't want, I mean, they didn't want to, and then they went and did it. I think I was more mad that you were restricting me than lying to me, but it was probably both. And then one was how they talked to me. The other one was trying to fit me in between the important things, is how I felt. And I was realizing, oh, I was trying to fit myself in between important things. I was speaking very harshly to myself. Just a lot of awareness that comes in here, because you do. And this is a great period of time for you, Courtney, because you have the Emperor who looks at all of these swords, all the thoughts, all the beliefs, all the mindsets, all the deception, all of the lying, all of the stealing that our own thoughts have done from us being reflected in the outside world. We're like, I'm ready to drop these. And the Emperor is the one who's been hearing all of these thoughts and all these beliefs, all of these mindsets for so long, um, and realizing I don't have to listen to everyone else. I get to decide what I want for my empire and my kingdom. And so there's this freedom that comes in with all of this, where you get to choose what you want, what your thoughts are for your life, how you want to perceive things, and I like that because then you create form around it, and then um, you don't have to draw someone in to your life with that behavior anymore because it was hard. Well, as I was going through all of my relationships that I had, um, but when I eventually was able to see that all of us sitting around a table in the heavens before I came down here, and they were like, all right, I need you guys to continually show me how I feel about myself until I see it. They go, no matter how much it takes. I go, no matter how much it takes. So I need volunteers that will show up, that will continually to show me this because I want to break this in this lifetime. I want to look beyond this feelings of low self-worth. So I need you to show me my low self-worth until I see it. And by golly, they did their job very well. I need to tip them when I get up into heaven and get into the other side. Tip them with my fist. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe in the arm. You brats, but you did a good job because they did set me free. I actually have no angst against any of them anymore because I saw them showing me to release myself. So that's what's coming in. I don't feel like M realizes it at all. I feel they're so busy looking in the mirror of you, and they're looking at themselves. They don't even realize what's going on with you. They're looking at themselves going, I wonder what I'm doing. I wonder why are people treating me this way? Why are people acting that way? Why? Why are they doing this to me, to me, to me? It's when we realize everyone's doing it for us that we get freedom because we're like, why did I want them to say this or act this way or not act this way or not say this? Because I want this to bubble up for me to release myself. So deep, deep. Wow. That's what they have for you, Courtney, though. So hopefully that helps. Ultimately, the answer is no, but they wanted to show you the reason why it was all happening and the freedom that can come from it. All right. So many blessings to you. All right. So Johanna Jurisen. I probably murdered that. My apologies. You are very welcome, Courtney. Thank you for your donation, Johanna. You want to know what is happening? How can you stay sane? Well, I am not a licensed practitioner. Please see the disclaimer in the video description. But we'll see what spirit has for you. Let's take a look here. What is happening? What is going on in your world? Why do you feel like you're going crazy? All right. And then how can you stay? How can you find your peace of mind, right? Let's take a look here. What is going on in your life? Okay. 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 All right. And then how can you stay sane? Alrighty. So yeah, we definitely see here the first card that came out is the Five of Pentacles, which is our journey, our beautiful, beautiful journey of feeling lack, abandonment, being left out in the cold, being left behind, right? So there is this churning, this stuff, activity out in your life to point you back to these feelings of abandonment that are at your core that are below the surface, right? You've also got the Five of Wands. So you got this, you're in this time of awareness and change. The Five of Wands is showing us things that start off feeling like conflict and fire turn into what we see is actually for us and full of love. It's like, a kung fu movie starting off where five people are fighting with all these wands, staves, right? And you're like, oh my God, they're trying to kill one another. What's happening here? But there's this great freedom that you experience as you watch what's happening because you realize when one person's left barely standing and the other four are laying down the ground exhausted, they all start laughing. You're like, what's happening? And then they all help each other up. They walk buddy and buddy back to the Buddhist monastery. You realize, oh, they're having a meal together. They are friends. They're monks and um, nuns, Buddhist nuns that were all training to help each other improve their skills. And that's when we realize everything is happening for us. And we get into the root here with this pentacles. Because you got the Six of Wands, was just so this transformation and this victory that comes in here with this balancing of this energy. So it's like just know in the end, there is a victory that shows so much about who you are and what you're wanting to see about yourself in this lifetime. Because with the Five of Pentacles, you've got the Three of Pentacles, you being true to your authentic self. And what's happening with all of this conflict, all these fives, this change energy is it's almost like we've got this uh, when people say things and do things, or don't say things or don't do things in our life, they hand us a page, a big piece of paper that's dipped in paper mache, the little glue stuff, and then we put it on ourselves and then someone else. And by the time we're done, all we have is these holes for our nose and our mouth and our eyes and our ears, but we don't know who we are because we're mummified by all these beliefs. Well, what's happening with all this struggle is as you're moving, it's cracking, things are falling apart, things are being pushed and pulled away, and you're starting to peel away all of this untruth, these things that are not you, for you to discover who you truly are. So everything that's unfolding is for you to see the cracks and the beliefs that you've been given all your life of how untrue they are. And it is unfolding. The Knight of Pentacles here is the, of course, slowest moving knight out of them all. So things are going slow, but it's allowing you to see and pursue. This knight is on a quest for the Ace of Pentacles, which is this, you know, looking at your worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way, truly finding your own self worth and in a higher and a more beautiful way. So that's what's happening is you're having this shaking, this rattling of beliefs to show you the cage that you're in to be set free from it, because you do have here, let me show you these. So these other three cards that you got here, you've got the Eight of Swords, which is, you realizing here's the cage, your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that have made you feel blinded and bound and trapped in all these thoughts. But this is the flow. You're realizing it, and it's allowing you to flow through it, right? You got the Page of Wands, which is this new um, awareness of the power that you really hold in your own life. It allows you to realize that wherever you're investing your energy in each moment is what is growing and expanding. And, because like attracts like. So if I'm focusing on my fears, what's happening? The things I hate, the things I feel are missing, the things I fear will come into my life or be repelled out of my life. Well, I'm feeding all of that. I love the analogy Spirit gave recently, which is like a little child going into a donut or a pastry shop, and the glass case, and it's pointing at this pastry. And so of course, the baker loads up a dozen to give it to them. They're like, I hate those. I'm like, Well, rather than point at what you hate, point at what you love, and I'll give you dozens of that instead. And so there's this transformation with the Page of Wands of what you're focusing on. What are you grateful for? What do you love? What brings you joy? What brings you peace? Focusing on those things expands and brings those inside. So this is how you stay sane, is you start looking at your fears and you release the fears that no longer serve you. You step into your power and you focus your energy on what you love instead of what you fear and what you don't want. And then you end up with the Queen of Pentacles. So this is abundance. This is new birth. This is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, new starts, new harvest that comes into. So you begin this nurturing of yourself instead of this imprisoning of yourself. The Queen of Pentacles reminds me a lot of the Empress, which she is all free. She's running naked through the forest. Don't run naked through the forest. You'll get arrested, probably. But this is a analogy of being free from all the restrictions, the supposed tos, the shoulds, the need tos, the have tos, the musts, and all of that that come in with all of that. So that is what is coming in. So hopefully that helps, Johanna. Many blessings to you. Hang in there. The more we focus on love, unconditional love, and the higher vibration, that brings us peace of mind. But when we have all these fears, that's what takes us out of our peace, takes us out of our sanity, right? Because what the definition of insanity is doing what we've always done and then expecting to get something different, right? Changing of thought, changing of mindset, changing of heart is what brings things. I usually say, this is a great tool, this thing called a cell phone, because there's an alarm on it and you can do a vibrating silent alarm that goes off every half hour or hour, whatever you feel you need to change our habit, because all the fears are our habits of what we've been taught to focus on. So our habit is to focus on that. And how do we change a habit? Well, we learned it through repetition, so we change it through repetition as well. So setting an alarm that says gratitude or joy or whatever it is, it's like the more we change our habit to focus in on gratitude, and we do that, then the more we have that comes in to be grateful for. The donut that we point at, we get more of that coming in. So a lot of freedom to come in there. So that's what they have. Again, many blessings to you. Thank you for your donation. All right. I think, let me just double check here. I think this is all. Let me just make sure. Yep. So that is it for the donations. And so I'm gonna be on. Yeah, I'm almost a few more minutes here. At 12:55, which is it's 12:38. So in about what 15 minutes or so, I'll be heading off to my praying mantis session. Um, so if you want to join us over there, a membership of $7.99 a month gives you access to it. I have one of those sessions after every free session I have. I'm on Friday, Saturday, Sunday mornings, and Friday and Saturday nights. So um, you can join us there if you wish. Otherwise, I will be coming back on because I know I'm not going to get through hardly any of the free readings here. So I'll come in after I finish my praying mantis session, after I eat to replenish. And then I'll come back on a session which doesn't have any chat. I'll just come in and complete those. So I'm going to do some screen capturing here um, for a moment here, and I'll see if I can get through a couple. Let's see here. Okay, I left off right here. Go down to here. And also, I have a ton of free readings, pick a card readings on my main page. So if you want answers right now, you can also go over to my main page and follow your heart. Spirit will guide you to the pick a card reading. I have like pick a cards about love and relationships, job and career, and all sorts of fun stuff. So if you're interested, you can do that. All right. Let me just grab this last one here. All right. And thank you guys for your patience. I know sometimes I don't get to a ton of free readings during the session, but the donations are what make it possible for me to do all the stuff that I do. So I am grateful for all those donations. All right. So I do got screenshots, so I will do that. So Dijona, you were the first free reading. So let's take a look here. You want to know whatever comes out? So let's take a look. See what Spirit has here. And I'm actually going to do something interesting. I'm going to use these vice versa tarot. for the free readings for the ones that I'll get through on this one. All right. I love that you got the Hierophant. The Hierophant is this invitation from your higher self. You can even see how they have, this symbol, which is the bringing as above, so below. It's like this energy of um, connecting your capital T truths and bringing them into the earthly world here. And I love this because there is this awareness that's coming in, this draw to understand who is it I truly want to be, what is it that I truly want to do, cutting away the small T truths and bringing the truth of who you want to be into the reality here. And you have here behind the scenes, so I love these vice versa because they show you what's an extra little story going on behind the hierophant here. I love the baby with the holding the key to the new self. I love the is that Pele? Which is mother, right? Nurturing of yourself. This new birthing that's coming in. That you hold the key here, and the apple with the pentacle in the middle, which is this beautiful, beautiful awareness that's coming in. I just feel like this is like a compass that's guiding you, and I feel like it's an important time right now for you to go, what is it that I truly want? What's my true north? Because I feel like you have a ton of decisions coming up in your life, and they want you to know that it's difficult to make a decision of it's like packing a suitcase for a trip, and you're like, I don't know what to pack because if I don't know where I'm going, then I'm like, well, I don't know if I need sweaters or shorts or both. What's happening? What do I need to pack? And I feel like this is what they're bringing in here is become aware of your destination so you know what to pack in your life and what to leave behind. So I like it for you. That's what's coming in for you, Dijona, and many blessings to you. Right. And then Divine Feminine Chronicles. I am doing well. I hope you're doing well. I need like a general. So let's take a look here and see what's coming in here. All right. Well, you got the Eight of Pentacles coming in here. And the Eight of Pentacles shows that you've been putting in the work, right? This is like an apprentice who's been putting in the attention, the blood, the sweat, the tears to learn the skill to have whatever they've been focusing your energy on is about to come to fruition. It's the apprentice becoming the master. It's the movement up. So the outside world has the spinning wheels. Things are coming to fruition. There's a message that comes with it too, though, is like if it's a relationship or job where you've been investing a lot in, you were the caterpillar that went into the cocoon. You come out of the cocoon a butterfly and go, all right, I'm a butterfly. Now why are you not a butterfly? Like if it's a relationship, they're like, well, it seemed like a lot of work, so I don't want to do it. You're like, well, I can't go back in and become a caterpillar, and I'm not saving you. I'm not going to carry you. That's one of my emojis for my members is this one, which is a butterfly carrying a caterpillar. You never see that because they don't. Butterflies go do butterfly things. Caterpillars can go back and do caterpillar things. If it's a job that keep on telling you, yeah, you can become a supervisor, you do all the work, and they're like, well, we don't have anything right now. I know we said that you would be able to do it, but we can't do it. Then you go find somewhere that will, because they're caterpillars. You're ready to go do butterfly things. And I really like that. Wow. And then on the vice versa here, I love this because it shows that you are ready to become the master where you help others. So, whatever journey you've gone through, you become the master and you take on like an apprentice, you take on someone that you can help grow. It's like saying, your pages of your life become pages in other people's survival manuals that help them with their life. So you're able to share what you have done, what progression you have done, and it helps others on theirs as well. So I love that for you. And that is what they have for you right now, Divine Feminine Chronicles. So get ready. Things are about to change and move forward. And I like that for you. Right. And then Rishi, you are up next. I am well. I hope you are well as well. You like a general reading. Let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know here? All right. I love it. I love it. So we have the Ace of Cups coming in here, which is about higher love, right? And this is about self love. It's about you becoming a chalice here, you sitting upon the throne here of emotion, and you're learning to fill up and overflow out to the world. I love that you are able to truly put yourself more and more first and to be filled up with this, realizing that, when you're a barrel allowing, plugging people in to you, that's when you feel drained. That's when you feel resentful because you're giving all of this emotion out and getting nothing back, right? Well, the chalice is unplugging everything, allowing yourself to be filled up, and then it overflows out to the world, and everyone else gets the overflow. I love the back of this too, because it shows here the stork, which is, of course, a symbol of new birth, bringing new babies. But we've got all of these shells, all of these seashells, all of these homes. And I love that because they're bringing back the fiddler, like the fiddler crab, which is it the fiddler crab? The hermit crab. I don't know. It's the one that goes from shell to shell, and as it gets bigger, it abandons one shell home to go into a bigger shell. And then when it gets too big, it abandons that shell and finds a bigger shell. So it finds old shells and it makes it its home. And when becomes bigger and bigger, it lets the old go and it moves on to the bigger. And I love that feeling of separation, that feeling of allowing what no longer serves you to go. And it's, again, choosing you, what you need for you, instead of trying to fit in, cramping yourself into a old shell that it has served its purpose, but you've got new adventures, new shells to head and go on to. So I love that for you, Rishi, and many blessings to you. All right. And then Shaby, let me just make sure here. Yep. Okay. Very good. The outcome of your connection with Jordan. All right. Let's take a look here. I love these vice versa cards. It's like a little tarot with a twist. All right. So, your outcome of your connection with Jordan, we've got this changing of mindset, this freedom that comes in mindset. So, the Eight of Swords shows that the connection with Jordan is teaching you about your fears, about your own mindsets that make you feel this blinded and bound and trapped by all this. Like, there's nothing that I can do. And it's a great card because it's a flow card. It means you're realizing what of your own thoughts and beliefs that you're freeing yourself from, right? And we've got this behind here in the Ace of Swords. And I love the eagle coming in here because here comes the symbol of freedom flying in to set you free. Because this Ace of Swords that seems to be keeping you bound, you're going to use that connection to seeing things from a higher perspective, from a place of unconditional love that sets the bounds free, because you're going to rub that on the sword and set your arms free, take off the blindfold, and realize you're not trapped at all, that you can get up and walk away, that the cage that you've had yourself in, you don't need to have it anymore. And so there's a lot of freedom that comes in. They're teaching you a lot of your supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts from the past that have been blinding you and keeping you from, um, feeling freedom, being able to be yourself, trying to fit into all of this, Rules. Ugh, it's like we cage our heart, and this expression of love that you're able to have through this, um, through this outcome afterwards. I don't feel like you end up with Jordan. I feel like they've been a great experience, but you will always remember the brilliant mind that we have, everything that was said and not said and done and not done. So a fresh start with your new knowledge is what is easier, which is what you will choose, which is understandable because it's hard. You know, the first time you have an argument, our little inner child goes, "Here, remember this, say that. Remember when blah blah blah." Oh crap, you know. But when you start a fresh relationship in the future, after reviewing this and changing the way you perceive yourself and relationships and things, that's where the freedom comes in. So I like it. All right. So that is what we have. So Grace, sorry, you'll be my first one on the next session. Um, and oh, oh, Luna Ray, thank you so much for your additional donation there. You're so kind. um, so for everyone, if you're not aware, I do have Moon Day Mondays, which talk about the energy of the week. So if you haven't checked those out yet, um, then you can check that out here. Here is the video of this week. Just making sure I've got everyone here. Okay, yeah, very good. And it does talk about all the different energies and like with Mercury going direct today too. Yay! It talks about how that impacts us and other information. So if you want like a forecast of our energy for the week, be sure to check that out. And then also each week I have a take 10 with Zen where we take 10 minutes or less normally to chat about how we can connect to spirit and how we can connect to our higher selves. And I answer questions from my subscribers. This one was the how of higher love. And JJJ, you had asked about how can I connect more to love? And I record in advance, and so this is the answer to that one for you if you are still here. So I love that energy there. And then, of course, each week I also have, I'm going to start calling them What's Up Wednesdays, which I have a pick a card. This was all about the Virgo new moon that we had, and that impacts us for a while. It talks about how you can do new moon wishes and different things as well. So you can check that out. And I have a giveaway each month. I used to do it weekly, but I've changed to monthly. And here's the playlist that talks about the giveaways that I've had. Plus, the last video talks about September giveaways and 3 ways that you can get into the drawings at the end of the month. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in winning like a personal recorded reading or possibly some other prizes. I know. And then, lastly, if you are interested in any of my services, most of them are half off for the rest of 2023. I know, it's because I love you guys. So my personal pre-recorded readings, my Hedges of Peace and Love, and my Wish Upon a Star Astro readings are all half off, and I'll be introducing past life readings and birthday readings coming up too, which will also be half off. It's something I can do already in the current readings, but I'm going to show you guys what they are and how those work too, in case you're interested in learning more and more about your journey and your life. So I'm loving it. All right, everybody. I think that is it for now. Thank you guys so much for all the thumbs up that you give the video. It does help spread the Zen love. So thank you for being part of the Love Tsunami. I will come back on after I do my praying mantis session. After I eat, I'll be back to complete the free readings. So I'll post a comment, pinned comment on this video. But you should be able, if you're subscribed and you have your notification setting to all, you should get the announcement of that video too. which will be in a few hours. So thank you guys again for all your love, all your appreciation. And please know that every second of every day of your life, that you are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you guys too. So until I see you again, have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you're at in the world. We'll see you soon. Until then, much love to you. You hang in there and you take care.